It is no secret that Slaking is one of the most powerful Pokemon in the Battle Frontier. There's been a lot of discussion already online in forums, as well as like in the comment section of these videos, that highly recommend Slaking because it's just so powerful. Slaking's got like some of the highest base attack in the game. It's also got super high HP and it's fast. So many different builds run it, and it's pretty obvious why. Obviously, the huge downside to Slaking is its ability, Truant, something like that. Essentially, it can only attack once every other turn, but like it doesn't matter because it just wipes everything anyway. And you add it with the choice band and things crazy. So it's obviously no secret that Slaking is really good. So it was only a matter of time before I decided to train one myself to see the pure power of Slaking. I have gotten a bunch of recommendations though for builds for the Battle Frontier, and I decided to go with one of these. So this Slaking is for a very specific purpose in the Battle Frontier. Maybe not super specific, but like in my head I'm like thinking, oh, it's really specific. But yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of Slaking. Like, he's cool, he's kind of powerful, but like not really a fan. I like big snakes and Aggron. Slaking isn't really similar to that. There's a comment from Samuel, or a recommendation a while ago. Essentially, this Slaking is a fast Slaking, and you bring it into the battle pyramid, and it does really good. And I think just as a general objective statement, Slaking is very powerful in the pyramid because you can. It's always going to be like a 1v1 battle with the trainers that you see in the pyramid, and Slaking can pretty much one-shot everything. And if you don't know what the battle pyramid is, essentially it's 7 floors. You climb up, you gotta like find the tile that brings you to the next floor. But in there you can encounter Pokemon and trainers. And you can also pick up items along the way. And you can bring these items with you throughout like the floors and to the next challenge if you keep winning without dying. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty unique. And Slaking just excels at this because again, it can one-shot like everything. The build that I decided to go with focuses on maximizing Slaking's speed. This way you can outspeed everything or I guess all the wild Pokemon in the battle pyramid. And I know almost everyone who builds this, or a lot of people that build it, focus on like an adamant nature, something that prioritizes the attack stat. Because if you don't one-shot the Pokemon, you're like defeating the purpose of Slaking because you just have to skip your next turn basically, and then you're pretty much losing. You're just not abusing Slaking's full potential. That was a consideration and a concern that I kind of had initially with going with like a more speed route, focusing on maximizing the speed. Is this Pokemon going to lack the punch required to actually one-shot everything? And I think this is just something that it's like, I'll just do it anyway. Like, and if I need to build an adamant nature one, it doesn't really matter. I could just like breed another one because I already have a bunch of Slack-offs with like good IVs, as well as like natures as well. One thing we should probably get into the build soon, or like the training, but like I decided that I was definitely going to build a male version because this Slaking will have the moves that it has. I want to be able to transfer to other Pokemon, and that's something that I haven't been doing I haven't really been abusing in the game, is the fact that if you strategize your TMs well enough, you can just transfer to all the eggs and like all other Pokemon that you train, and you don't need to replay games or anything to get other TMs. You just gotta, if you can be more intelligent with how you breed your Pokemon and the TMs that you put on those Pokemon, you can just get like all these moves for free. It's crazy. Anyway, so with this Slaking, I definitely want it as a male in case I do in the future breed another Slaking. I can kind of reuse all the moves. So anyway, I'm probably going on a little side tangent, but let's get to the specific build that I decided, or that this person Samuel recommended that I decided to build. It's Jolly Nature. We're going to go for, I wanted max IVs in speed and attack, and we were going to maximize the EVs in speed and attack. So essentially, I'm going to have perfect speed, and I want very, very high attack. I didn't really care about the other IVs or stats at all. This was just kind of to help me like get this Pokemon, I'm not going to say out of the way, but like I didn't want to spend more time on it than I had to because, again, I don't love slacking, but I wanted it for the frontier and to try it out. So I wanted to just get what I had to get on the Pokemon and just train it and then use it. Like, I didn't want to be like, oh, let's get another IV and spend the extra like 10, 15 hours, however long that might take. So that was my intent going in, and that is what we actually got coming out of this. And it didn't take that long again because I was only focusing on 2 IVs. And I already had some pretty good Dittos that I was going to do anyway. I didn't like take any notes on this, which was kind of surprising. But anyway, the moveset that was recommended and that I ultimately went with was Return, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Shadow Ball. Got the Return Stab, and again, the reason why you're using Return over Hyper Beam or Double Edge is because we were using it for the Battle Pyramid. So Return does a lot of damage, and it has high PP compared to Double Edge, or I guess maybe Double Edge is like similar, but you don't get that downside of getting injured. And Hyper Beam has low PP, and you don't need that type of power necessarily in the pyramid. You want to focus on, the Return at least with the more PP. Man, do I hate saying that word. Also, I didn't realize how powerful Return is. I think its base at max Friendship, its base like damage is I think 102 with 100% accuracy, which is pretty similar to Earthquake, so it's even stronger. Then you're getting that additional stab with Slaking being a normal type. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. But anyway, once we got the 2 IVs that I wanted on this Pokemon with the nature, brought that over to Fire Red, did the EV training on one island with those trainers, with the fighting trainers with the hot springs. That actually, it's so quick. And then I was beating that Raichu girl east of Fuchsia City. And then I went to go kill some Pidgeys and Rattata in my Pallet Town. That didn't take that long. Then I realized I didn't have the move Return. So I was like, okay, well, how do I get it? Turns out I went back to my Fire Red game and I never picked up the TM. I didn't even know it was good. So if you go to, you only get it once though. So if you go south of Lavender Town, there's like a gate. Go in the gate, go to the second floor. There's like one girl standing there. Ask her, she'll give you Return. Sweet. So you can also get it in Emerald. I didn't know this. Yeah, okay, there's a different story, but you can get it in, I think it's Pacific Dogtown. I can never pronounce it. But it's like, here's the Pokemon Center. If you just go down and then go to your left, there's a house right there. Talk to that guy. Every single week, you can get another Return TM or Frustration if your Pokemon doesn't like you. The one leading in your party. However, again, you need your battery to work and your clocks to work, which I'm happy because last week, from the recording of this video, last week I connected my Coliseum game my Emerald game to Coliseum, and so that actually made the clocks again work because mine wasn't working for so long. So that was actually kind of exciting. But yeah, I was able to get two Return TMs. And then Earthquake, I just had another team in Emerald. Rockslide, I just went over to, it's like by the Battle Dome. You could just teach your Pokemon with battle points. And then Shadow Ball, I had to use my last TM. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But all these moves are on a male Slaking. So any Pokemon that can breed with Slaking, or even we can manipulate and cross egg groups and everything to get these moves onto other Pokemon. So that's kind of exciting. I want to dive into the actual Battle Pyramid. So this is the first time ever me going into the Battle Pyramid. I didn't really, I knew kind of what it was and what we had to do, but I didn't know, obviously everything, all these strategies or things like that. I went in with Slaking, Metagross, and Gengar. I just felt like Metagross and Gengar are pretty powerful Pokemon, and Slaking's pretty awesome too. I knew in the earlier levels you should really try to get all the items, and you're really hoping to get a Choice Band, because if you put the Choice Band on the super fast Slaking, that's the target thing to do to get to the levels. I wasn't able to find Choice Band. I found some other things though. I think I found like a Focus Band, some Lumberries. If you find a lot of berries, but you do need them. So the first time, all the footage you're gonna see right now, I was able to get to level 20 or floor 20, which 21 is when you get to this. Like I was one tile essentially away from getting to the next level, which we would have fought Brandon for the silver medal. And I think he's got 3 Reggies, which is pretty cool. And the team was just getting too weak. Wheezing, I didn't know Wheezing was so powerful, but Wheezing gave me so many. I kept seeing Wheezing, and it just gave me so much trouble. It would use Flamethrower and Will-O-Wisp, and it wouldn't let me run away. And it was so tanky. Wheezing, I think that actually killed my run. And we just kept seeing them, and I couldn't handle them. I was like, is this actually how we're going out? Wheezing, really? That was kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. It was the first run anyway. But one of the biggest mistakes I did was, again, I did all my training in Fire Red, and then I brought my Slaking to Emerald, and then just went to the Battle Frontier. The move Return requires that your Pokemon has high friendship to do damage. So when I was using Return, I was like, this thing's not doing any damage. I wasn't understanding. I was like, oh wait, I transferred it over, so that was a big oopsie. So right now I'm increasing Slaking's friendship with me, but yeah, that probably killed the run, obviously too, because I was using the move and it was just like a waste of a move because it wasn't doing any damage. But I just completely forgot about that like subtlety of using the move Return. In general though, the Slaking was hitting pretty hard, with its earthquakes. Shadow Ball was a lot better than I thought, because again, anything with Psychic, just annihilate, especially things like Dusclops. I can't think. There was another Pokemon that I was like, wow, like Shadow Ball is crazy. I can't think of the Pokemon right now, but as I was considering Aerial Ace over Shadow Ball, because I like the idea of Aerial Ace just never missing. It doesn't do a whole, as much damage as let's say Shadow Ball. And again, there are trade-offs between Shadow Ball and Aerial Ace. But I was surprised by how good Shadow Ball was in a lot of situations. But yeah, obviously Rock Slide and Earthquake are pretty standard moves, and then the Return just for the stab bonus, but also it's just a powerful move anyway. The Metagross didn't really complement the Slaking as much. I think I probably should have had a different Pokemon, maybe my Lotic with the Toxic. Maybe not actually, because I think in the Pyramid you want to wipe things as quick as possible, or have things with high speed too, so you can just do as much damage to it's probably the Battle Pyramid likely favors Pokemon that are fast and hit hard. So I'm thinking even Lapras. I don't think Lapras would be that good either. Maybe we bring in the Slaking as the physical attacker. Maybe Metagross is actually not that bad, because there are some situations where you do need to hit something hard with the Meteor Mash. But Gengar was good, but I'm wondering if that special attacking Sceptile, because obviously you don't want to have, or you can, but I don't really want to have 3 physical attackers. I'd rather have at least 1 special attacker focus. And I don't have a lot of those Pokemon. Most of mine are tanky or focus on physical attack. Yeah, I think having two good physical attackers and a special, or 2 good special and 1 physical is probably ideal. And again, you want to just defeat things as quick as possible. Slaking, I think Slaking, okay, this Slaking is a high probability of getting us a chance at getting the gold medal in probably more than 1 facility, but I think definitely the Pyramid, just by how powerful the Pokemon is. So I think probably in the near future, I kind of want to focus on the Pyramid and just get the gold medal out of the way. Not out of the way, but I want to get another one. I don't think we're getting the tower anytime soon, in the factory. In the arena and the palace, I'm not looking forward to doing those. I think we can get the Pyramid though real soon, especially with this Slaking. If I find that this Slaking isn't as powerful or hitting as hard, I will probably be tempted to breed it with an Adamant Nature one, or breed an Adamant Nature one with the similar moves. Pretty much everything's going to be exactly the same, just Adamant Nature and same thing, the same EV spread. So instead, it'll hit harder, maybe not outspeed some of the things, but again, I'll feel it out. From the recommendation, it did not sound like it wasn't able to hit as hard with the lack of like that 10% boost from the nature. So I do want to test that out for myself. But I think the strategy also kind of, at least from my understanding, it kind of relies on getting that choice band. Because if you do, it kind of just accelerates everything. Because again, you don't have that attack boost. If we do find the choice band, I only did one round of this so far. I thought I did pretty good, but it took a few hours. Like it actually took like 2.5 hours just to get to 21 or 20. Didn't quite make it. But I definitely will be running this a few more times, probably experimenting with different Pokemon with Slaking, but Slaking will remain the same. But I think the key is we got to find that choice band. You got to get lucky. There is some luck, and also you have to kind of play your odds. And I know in the beginning round too, I think you can bring like a pickup Pokemon with you, and you just fight like a whole bunch of Pokemon in the wild and just get items. So there is, I could do that too. But yeah, the next time that we talk about Slaking will either be that I don't like the Jolly nature. We're gonna go admin and run it back, or we get the gold medal, because I think we will definitely get the silver medal. Probably not gonna make a video specifically about that. I'm hoping we get the gold medal, and that'll be the next time we talk about Slaking in the Battle Frontier, and I guess like how it performed in the Battle Pyramid, and what other two Pokemon I opted to, I guess, synergize with Slaking. Anyway, though, this is a little bit shorter of a video, but I'm training a lot of other things. We're doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, I'm gonna be using Slaking. Slaking should get us this gold medal in the pyramid, because it's like literally made for it. So, but anyway, though, if you have some Battle Pyramid tips, let me know down below. I'm trying to get this gold medal. Stay tuned for some more videos. We got a whole lot coming. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day.